The conflicts between Egypt and Israel have been significant in the Middle East and have shaped regional politics for decades. Here's a detailed overview of the major wars and conflicts between these two nations. The 1948 Arab-Israeli War following the United Nations Partition Plan in 1947, which proposed the creation of separate Jewish and Arab states in Palestine, tensions escalated. The plan was accepted by the Jewish community, but rejected by the Arab states. The conflict took place from May 1948 to March 1949 and involved the newly declared State of Israel against a coalition of Arab states, including Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, and Iraq. The war began with the invasion of Israel by several Arab countries immediately after its declaration of independence. The conflict involved intense fighting over territory and resulted in numerous casualties. The war ended with a series of armistice agreements between Israel and the Arab states, including Egypt. The boundaries of the new State of Israel were established, and many Palestinians became refugees. The war solidified Israel's statehood, but did not resolve the broader Arab-Israeli conflict. The Suez Crisis, 1956, Egyptian President Gamal Abdel Nasser nationalized the Suez Canal in July 1956, which was a crucial maritime route controlled by the British and French. The conflict took place from October to November 1956 and involved Israel, Britain, and France against Egypt. Israel, in coordination with Britain and France, launched Operation Kadesh, a military campaign aiming to capture the Sinai Peninsula and secure access to the canal. The invasion was met with international condemnation, particularly from the United States and the Soviet Union. Under significant pressure from the US and the Soviet Union, Britain and France withdrew their forces. A UN peacekeeping force was deployed to supervise the withdrawal, and the Suez Canal was reopened. The Six-Day War, 1967, rising tensions and skirmishes along the borders, particularly between Israel and its neighbors, led to a buildup of forces and threats of war. The conflict took place from June 5 to June 10, 1967, and involved Israel against Egypt, Jordan, and Syria. Israel launched a preemptive strike against Egyptian airfields, quickly achieving air superiority. The conflict rapidly expanded as Israel also attacked Jordan and Syria. The war resulted in significant territorial gains for Israel, including the Sinai Peninsula, the West Bank, and the Golan Heights. The war ended with a ceasefire and the adoption of UN Security Council Resolution 242, which called for Israel to withdraw from the occupied territories in exchange for peace. The war reshaped the geopolitical landscape and left many issues unresolved. The Yom Kippur War, 1973, Egypt and Syria, seeking to regain territories lost in the Six-Day War, launched a coordinated surprise attack on Israel during Yom Kippur, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar. The conflict took place from October 6 to October 25, 1973, and involved Israel against Egypt and Syria. The war began with Egyptian and Syrian forces making initial gains. However, Israel managed to regroup and counterattack, eventually pushing back the invading forces. The conflict saw heavy fighting and significant losses on both sides. A ceasefire was brokered by the UN,